There are two lines from a rather ribald old English musical song that seem singularly appropriate this week. It's the rich what lives in clover, it's the poor what gets the blame, and the poor and the workers who usually take the pain as well. It seemed singularly appropriate this week because we had the latest figures on joblessness, which have again gone up. The beginning, I think, of feeling the pain of junk status. At the same time, we had the obscenity, and I think it was a real obscenity, of hearing that leading chief executives of leading companies on the JSE are being paid, I won't say earned, 69,000 Rand a day. That actually is more than the majority of workers in formal employment in this country earn in a year. At the same time, we have our newly minted Minister of Finance, Malusi Gigaba, informing us that junk status doesn't mean a thing. It'll have very little impact. And saying, yes, the world is in an economic mess. Of course it is. But South Africa is in a deeper hole than it needs to be. And that is because of poor planning, ineptitude, and corruption. And until we sort that out, I'm afraid we're going to go nowhere. We're heading into more and more trouble. But what does junk status mean? Junk status at a very elementary level means it will cost more to access loans and it will cost more to service debt for everyone. But government and business, as per usual, will simply pass on that cost, that pain, to us, to the consumers, to the ordinary working people of the country. And let us not forget that we all contribute to the fiscus. Even those who are unemployed, the poorest of the poor, pay in through value-added tax, through VAT. And we all contribute. Now, a 1% hike in the interest rate, for government, for example, will put our debt servicing costs, that's how much interest we pay every year, from 144 billion plus Rand a year to add another 1.5 billion to that, which we, the taxpayers, will once again have to pay. Now, one thing I will say that Malusi Gigaba was correct about was to say that the ratings agencies are not real. Well, they're not real in the sense that one can compare them, I think, to horse racing tipsters. They simply pick out and recommend which national business entities should be played, should be bet on by that tiny moneyed minority in order to extract greatest profits. So that's the area I'm going to concentrate on in my Inside Labour column, which you can access on this platform, Fin24, tomorrow, and a version of which will appear in the City Press business section on Sunday. Until then, I shall carry on with those of you who've contributed suggestions, etc., on trucking, on various topics, including trucking, I beg your pardon, and recycling, and of course the basic income grant. I'll be working on those in the meantime. But until then, it's over to you. Let's have more suggestions, let's have more comments and criticism to editor@fin24.com. That's editor@fin24.com. And for this week, that's all from me. Cheers.